Good evening to everyone. It's 3:13. Happy full moon. Tonight's the full moon. The peak time for the full moon is like 2:55 in the morning, a.m. time. So it's the moon that's out now. That is the one that carries the peak. It is also a lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse. So that makes this a blood moon. This moon is traditionally called the worm moon. This is like the beginning of spring. Spring starts on March 20th. I think 5 o'clock in the morning, sometime around there. So we're in the last few days of winter. There's a lot going on. There is a bunch of storms here in the United States coming from all different directions. There is a bunch of planetary retrogrades and stuff like that going on. Disclaimer. Since probably about 2016, easily, if you go back to my Instagram or Facebook, I've been trying to speak on the perspective of you're more than your signs. You're bigger than a retrograde. You're bigger than the eclipse. You're bigger than any full moon cycle or solar cycle or anything like that. Those are points of influence. But think about it. Alcohol is an influence. If you don't drink too much, you don't get drunk. Unfortunately, where this world is at right now, to where, let's just say, organized formats of religion, and to be fair, organized formats of traditions, let's just be fair, but primarily organized religion has subjugated this planet. I don't care about anybody's perspectives. That's just the truth. So the organized formats of religion have beat down on people so bad that they need something different. And the easiest thing to do is to go back to what people say was before religion, your traditional formats, your quote-unquote spirituality. So in doing that, you go back into astrology, numerology, Taoism, Sufism, all these other isms, all these other formats of thinking that will, allegedly counter formatted religion. But the problem that I see with that, and that most people probably won't admit, but it's very evident, is that if you got damaged in what your primary belief was, and you're just trying to run into something to find something to counter the damage without stopping and figuring out just what really was your points of accountability for even needing to keep on journeying. If you're just running from place to place, you're taking pieces of each place with you. And then it gets into what you hear me call glamorized spirituality. You need something to make sense of what didn't make sense. And then sometimes you're using what didn't make sense to make sense of what you're now experiencing. So I say that to, get to the point to where you see people over investing in Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, full moons, new moons, solar eclipses, lunar eclipses. It's holy shit. It's ruling my whole world. And again, it gets into what I've, uncovered as a personal perspective and experience is the average person does not want to take total accountability for him or herself. So they need something else to basically play God and devil, just to be fair. And again, even that right there, that finite God devil analogy, that's a religious trauma. If you want to go back deeper before organized religion, when you get into like say animistic formats of belief or belief like what they call cosmology, there's multiple gods in almost every system. And even if you want to go like say comedics, there are things that you could ascribe as demons, but they're helpful. There's guardians to the underworld that are demonic. But again, you see all that right there? They're darker in nature, but they're still pro-man. Not going to tie everybody up on that. My thing that I'm getting at is that if you keep using what's got your mind separated as what's going to be a format to hold you together by going into another format that does not really correlate to what you left, becomes a shit show. And I think that's what a lot of people are going through right now is it's a veritable shit show. People are spiritually lost and trying to find themselves in systems. And then you have the everyday pressures of society, the financial uncertainty, the other mental emotional pressures, and they only push you even further into needing something to make sense. Because the big thing that I'm seeing out here with people is people don't have safety. Hell, again, not trying to be funny or insensitive, but you can go down your TikTok or Facebook and watch people. I hate this word, but I'm gonna use it because it's what y'all understand. People crash out daily. Hell, some of y'all stand proud on your ability to crash out. It's not cute. Being one step away from crashing out means that you have not done enough work to stop basically traveling on dangerous roads. You're crashing out because you're traveling into things or in places that no longer fit. But the problem with that gets back to everything I said. If you did not find a fit in situation A, and then you're just trying to find a safe place in situation B without realizing why you were in situation A in the first point, you just took bits and pieces of situation A into situation B. You're tainting your whole experience. Add that into, and again, not trying to be insensitive and funny, but I'm sorry, I'm a realist. Add that into the fact that people nowadays are so easily misled, misinformed, coerced, and all things like that. Critical thinking skills are kind of out of the window. That becomes more dangerous because something can feel good to you, which gets back to what I said about influence. You can become easily influenced just by finding something that makes you feel better than what you were already investing in that did not make you feel good at all. So this full moon, watch out for it. It's the bloody worm moon. The worm, the analogy I was talking about the other day, and aging myself, the what was it, the Wrath of Khan Star Trek movie? Yeah, I'm aging myself. Star Trek, the Wrath of Khan, where they had captured the Enterprise soldiers or the Federation astronauts, or whatever you want to call them, and they put this parasite in their ear, and it took over their mind. That worm got into their brain and took over their mind. That worm, in a lot of people's cases, is their traumatic need to feel safe. And we'll see how this plays out in where I'm going. This is really just a full moon reading. This is off the hip. So I'm just basically telling you what I see. Resonance only. This is always my perspective, my awareness, my experience. You got to defer to your own. Henceforth, that saying, let your life tell your tale. If what I'm telling you, if what I'm saying to you does not make sense, you got choices. Exit or sit down and try and figure out why it don't make sense. In it not making sense, make sure if it's just not for you or if you just ain't ready to hear it. Either way it go, I don't care. It's you got to let your life tell your tale. So all I'm doing is presenting a perspective. Where we're at right now is people are looking for safety when they have not done due diligence to make sure that safety is already an automatic function within themselves. And again, you have to get there on your own, but I'll tell you, safety, just like peace, those are tricks. Those are already tricks of separation. Safety is a condition in correlation to an experience that can take it away. Peace is a condition in correlation to an experience with something that can take it away. Balance is a condition of, as long as this allows me to be safe, I'm safe too. That's all balance is. Balance requires duality. Getting back to what I said, the whole problem with safety already puts you in the mindset of duality. Even if you want to sit there and lie to yourself and say, well, the only thing I ain't safe with is within myself. Well, it's still all you. It's still all you. It gets into that fucked up thing that people like to say all the time. It's me versus me. Holy shit, if it's you versus you, who gonna win? If it's you versus you, and if you're your only competition, you're also your only sabotage. There is no me versus me. It's just me. And anything that goes on, sorry, card jumped out with my hand. That safety that I'm talking about, it's a condition. Why? Because it can leave you out there in the wild. Holy shit. What I keep telling y'all, this is a prismatic experience. You caught out here in Roy G. Biv, your light gets fragmented. When you focus on too much on safety, peace, and balance, you're already fragmented. You are out here in the wild. So we're going to start there. out here in the wild seeking safety when you forgot to find wholeness within yourself. So the first problem is you're out in the wild. And again, like I said, that's your Roy G. Biv, which basically we're going to call that your chakra field, the horror line, prismatic existence. Safety already puts me at odds against myself. Puts you at odds against yourself. This should be a 9. But it's a 6. It's a trauma. Blue power manifestation. I manifested myself losing control. This should be a 9. 9 is your highest vibration. 9 tells you I am in control of me. And even that's a trick. But again, you got to start somewhere. But if I am not in control of me, I'm already traumatized and in danger. But guess what? Blue, I'm a manifested. Blue is your power chakra. Blue is your throat. And in the beginning, there was a word. And the word was, I'm not enough. So let me concoct 9,000 different stories to make me feel better about not being enough. This might get a little offensive, but you're seeing that play out right now. You're seeing that play out right now. And this is history in a nutshell. People who do not feel like they are enough for themselves will always try and dominate people who potentially were more or could be more in a fashion that will keep them feeling superior. Somebody with an inferiority complex, those are your classic bullies. They will need to go out there and destroy and dominate. Holy shit, get back to that worm, parasite. Hold us to y'all. So when you come into somebody who has already lost control of how they can manifest themselves, they'll need to dominate everybody else who didn't have that condition by making them sick. That's how you get colonization and things like that. That's how you get governmental programs. That's how you get political parties. That's how you get terrorist groups. That's how you get anything like that. Anything where somebody has to group together with a bunch of other people because they don't feel safe on their own, they will push that fear into anything and everything along the way. But if you can't see that, I'm sorry for you. So the problem with operating out in the wild, again, the bigger issue should have been if I'm out here operating in the wild, I manifested because I wasn't able to calm myself. The problem with that is you're going to get out here and dominate and traumatize everything you come into contact with. At that point, you are the worm, as I just got through saying. You become the worm because you need to control everybody else's thought processes because yours are not safe. This is sociopathic tendencies. This is governmental mindsets of domination to where think like how I want you to think, so the way that I think becomes safe. Fanaticism, we got right back into religion just that quick. And it'll happen. It never fails. Somebody gonna come in here with exactly what I said. Think like how I think so that I feel safer about how I think because how I think is not safe enough for me. You get that? Because if the way that somebody thinks is safe, then there will be no need to enforce it on others. Present your perspective in your format and then let those who it is for eat the fruits. But if you walk around strapped and militant and trying to enforce your way in thinking onto others, it's already a denotation that it didn't establish a balance within you. You just need to have a connection to others that you think you need to dominate. You, at that point, become the wild. So fanaticism produces the wild. Art imitates life. Again, like I'm telling you, this full moon will show you where at the end of the day, it's all you. But if you want to keep telling yourself that it's retrogrades and it's full moons and it's sun cycles and season cycles, it becomes easier for you to lie to yourself about your responsibility to all of this because you've now developed the ability to respond. Responsibility becomes the ability to respond. The ability to respond means you are now operating out of a trauma. Why are you in the teacher's office? Why are you in the principal's office? Because so-and-so said something to me. Did they hit you? No, but they said something. So your ability to respond, ego, will get you in trouble. Our ability to respond has gotten us collectively in trouble. Because the ability to respond, but the unwillingness to do so, complacency, compliance, fear, that leaves you out in the wild because, again, you've already lost control of your vibrations and you're already too traumatized. That, again, is what you're currently seeing. Side note, and this will upset some of you because, again, it gets back to what I said. Some of y'all don't have enough critical thinking skills or experience to see past some of the tricks and traps. And I apologize if it rubs you the wrong way, but you'll be the fuck all right. You gotta let your life tell your tale. Some of y'all are caught up in this ideology that the Schumann resonance is about your energy. It's the chance for your energy to make higher contact with the consciousness streams. This is going to give you an upgrade. I would like to hope so for your case. It's not. This consciousness, the Schumann resonance is about the vibrational shifts of this planet as the erraticism of the denizens on this planet, primarily us, humans, have gotten to such a point to where they become parasitic to her existence. Remember, this is a biospheric entity. The Schumann resonance that you're seeing that looks so different is potentially because we're still the same. We're still out here in a parasitic function, sucking on the planet's energy and not giving an even exchange. That's my perspective and experience. Let's just see, for shits and giggles, oh, great Gaia, Mother Planet, how do you see your children? Manipulative as fuck. They need to go. This is 5. 5 in reverse. I have manifested my own manipulation. Sorry. If you want to go to the tarot, this is the Hierophant in reverse. This is the abuser. My children have abused me. Holy shit, what do we say all the time? Most of you, especially if you stay in the city, go down the street and look at all the trash. Most of you, if you stay in the city or in somewhere that used to be, like say down here in Summerville, South Carolina, this used to be a retirement. Hell, the nickname of the town is Flower Town in the Pines. Most of the flowers have been cut down, and most of the pines have been uprooted in favor of business. Car washes, storage centers, and gas stations. All in the name of greedy people who are finding more ways to make money for themselves at the expense of not only nature, but other citizens. So you understand what I'm saying? Whereas Mother manifested us in abundance. And I used to tell y'all this all the time, especially like back around 2015, I used to be pretty heavy into herbs, and I used to always go out and forage, and I'll come on video and show you this and did my research and show you how to use it. Holy shit, it's getting cold. Go outside and look and see what weeds are growing in your area, because if you did your research, it's probably the things that by tradition would help you heal versus going to Big Pharma and getting a bunch of pills. But at the same time, it's just as quick as shit was growing out in the wild, the city would come through and cut it or spray it. It's weeds. No. Rick Salty and all that shit like that is weeds. Anal leakage, suicidal thoughts, your gooch might fall out, shit like that. Versus going out here and getting some gravel root and some dandelion and mixing it together, and holy shit, even though it's not natural because the soil is tainted now, it's probably going to eventually work for me better than the shit I keep pumping in me. So that Schumann resonance, as I was getting at, is it ain't got nothing to do with you finally starting to learn how to wake up. It's holy shit. It's too late. You're now a force of the manipulation. You are the worm. The planet sees us as the worm. How can I say that? Go back to 2020. Look what happened when, right around this same time, matter of fact, right around the same time 5 years ago, when we got put in isolation, and then plants and flowers were flourishing, pink dolphins, like here down in South Carolina, the little jelly balls that will only float around. During that 2-week period, they start now being able to float around on their own instead of just floating around in stasis. They now had direction. Shit that people ain't seen started popping up. Why? Because the virus was out of the way and the planet had a chance to heal. We were in seclusion and in quarantine, so mother had a chance to heal. But again, getting back to what I'm saying, where you have already bought into glamorized spirituality or glamorized existence of thinking that you are the best thing since sliced bread and anything that happens on this planet is automatically about you, when in reality, a lot of things that's happened on this planet is because of us. You gotta let your life tell your tale. If you don't understand your ability to be the manipulator, you'll always think you're manifesting. I'll say that again for you. If you don't understand your ability to be the manipulator, you'll probably think it's you manifesting. Oops, that went way bigger than the Schumann resonance. So, we out here in the wild done lost control of our energy because we keep manifesting our traumas. And again, if you want to go through history, the Indo-European systems, the way they manifested their traumas was by traumatizing everybody else into subservience. Just facts. So when you traumatize everybody else and make them less than you without doing the work to make you better than who you are, you become the abuser. This planet recognizes the abuse. I'd never be stupid enough to sit here and say that climate change ain't real. Hashtag whether you care or not. Watch these damn chemtrails turn into pretty clouds that people think are just clouds. I've seen things change in my 5 decades on this planet. And not just the 2 that most of you only been paying attention to for damn 1. But you know everything. But that's neither here nor there. So if you are not able to sit and mark the change, you can't speak on the changes. Just being honest. So I'd never sit there and tell you that it's not, climate change and things like that. But the amount of angry weather patterns that we're being subjected to, not just here in the United States, but across this world, the erraticism of weather is probably the result of the erraticism of energy that we collectively disseminate. That's a whole nother class, though. I forgot the name of it. It's not thermokinesis. It's something like that, but it's weather related in response to psionic energy. So, getting back into this reading, we're out in the wild. We've lost control because we only respond to our traumas, and then we traumatize everybody else through subjugation, to include the planet. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to automatically abuse the planet. So where we're at right now with this full blood moon, this full blood worm moon, is you are now have to see yourself as the parasite or see where the parasite is in you. That gets back to that post I put up earlier about enter, E-N-T-E-R, and inter, I-N-T-E-R, as in interment. Enter, E-N-T-E-R, means to put something in. You're going to enter. But also, as I put in the analogy, it's also to impregnate. If you want to go back into old text, especially in Hindu, Shiva entered into Kali. That's copulation. So, enter in that sense means you are going to impregnate something. Inter, I-N-T-E-R, means that in the sense of the dead, it means you're going to bind yourself to something. Somebody was interred in military uniform. That means they were buried in their military uniform. To go further into that definition, intersection means a section that has now been bonded to another one. That's how you hit a crossroad. So where we're currently at right now is we have entered into the interment. We have impregnated our own death. Resonance only. And again, you have to start thinking bigger than, Big Mama dying. This is death, as in energetically we have started the unraveling of our own selves. So we'll just do it this way. What is the field of entrance for humanity? What did humanity impregnate itself with? It impregnated itself with its own traumas, but you saw it, it came out as a 9 as you're looking at it, but it's really a 6. Remember, we started with the 9 that came out as a 6. Now we've manifested the 6 that came out as a 9. The traumas is as high as you can get. You have impregnated yourself with traumas. And again, it goes back to what I'm saying. A lot of people run from one format of belief into another format of belief, but they never let go of the first one just in case they run into something they don't understand. Holy shit, I did a spill last night and then something started rattling. Girl, I used Psalm 93 to get out of that one. Sorry, resonance only. You use part of what kept you in containment to now contain what potentially could be set you free, even though that ain't gonna set you free either. It's just another level of yourself in deception, trying to find something else to pin the motherfucking tail on the donkey on. That's all this is you're trying to find something else to believe in, to show you your greatness because you don't want to see it for yourself. Why? Because in the process of finding greatness for yourself, you also have to find out your own foolishness. Responsibility. Holy shit, I helped create that. Holy shit, I was at my highest vibration, but the only thing I was doing was responding to my own traumas, which means I now manipulated myself in everything that I helped create, and now that's its highest vibration. If I create something that is already traumatized, how high do you think it can go? Gotta let your life tell your tale that. With that, if you are only exposed to traumas and then somebody start teaching you something subset to the trauma, I'm sorry, not subset, released from the traumas, most people won't understand it. Why? Because your only format of thinking is through trauma. For years, hell, a decade at least, I've always told you separation, duality is a trauma. The average person is not authorized to think outside of separation because it's too traumatizing. So where we're at right now, where we become impregnated, our highest vibration is the trauma. What's the trauma? I'm going to tell you right now, it's separation. Separation. Draw four more. Draw four more. It is yourself in separation. It's prismatic existence. See, this was a wild without definition. This is a defined wild. What's for? Trapped. Trapped energy. Prismatic existence. Your light in dissemination. We have impregnated ourselves with our own energy broken apart, and we keep asking the pieces of the energy that's broken apart on how to put us together. Make that make sense. You are asking the fragments of the whole experiment, the collective consciousness, that is not designed to collect itself back into wholeness, singularity, and you're expecting it to teach you. It's going to teach you, all right. It's going to teach you perspective. Hi, this is all perspective. When you go to somebody and you're only asking them based off of their experience or their level of awareness, knowledge, whatever word you want to use, that's as far as it can go. It's going to keep you, not 3, 4. I almost did that. It's going to keep you 4. It's going to keep you trapped in whatever it feels safe. Somebody caught that. It's only going to leave enough information for you to possibly tie yourself into, but it will still keep whatever it's leaving for you to tie yourself into beneath what it understands for itself. It's like going to a 4th grader, and this motherfucker in the 4th grade is smart as shit, and you're going to ask him an 8th grade question that he has not been exposed to. It's not that the 4th grader is dumb. 4th grader just don't have that level of experience. It can only speak from what it's exposed to. I'm not even going to humor that, but I will just say this. If you think May 29th, 5/29, 2025 is going to be the day of awakening, awakening into what though? If you're only awakening from 1st grade and you're now in the 2nd grade, you still in school. You still trapped in school. You can wake up and still be in prison. Now you got to draw 2 more. You just manifested another layer to your trap. You just created another rabbit hole. Again, perspective. You wake up and you still in duality. Well, I just tell you, duality is your trick. So if I wake up from a dream, I might have woke up into a nightmare. So already the trap is still a 6. The trap is my traumas. But let's see what the 2nd stage of the trap is anyway. Holy sheep shit, Batman. 6 just became 8. And I shuffle the cards and go back to the beginning. What's the third stage? Holy shit, I can't make this shit up. And this is in reverse. Well, it's in reverse, but it says draw wild or reshuffle the whole deck. So that becomes multiplicity. Your duality will only show you another layer of duality, and then you'll think you'll outsmart duality by trying to create multiplicity. But at no point did you honor singularity. I don't need to wake up. I need to quit dreaming. But here goes the fourth step. I need to quit dreaming. I need to manifest my potential. But that's a trick. You don't manifest your potential. You honor your reality. Potentially, I'm the president. But I'd have to do things to get there. In reality, I'm already me. You see what one was? One was a pipe dream of what I could become. Holy shit, enter. I could impregnate my mind with thoughts that will help me produce the results of what I want to see. Potential. Or I could get out of that trauma that's telling me I got to manifest and manipulate and align and I'm the abundance and ching, 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 go to money tree and money love me and all this other shit. Safe mode. And just realize that, holy shit, giving my energy into all that means I've already stolen energy from me. I'm my own struggle. God damn, these blue cards ain't going nowhere. Blue is manifestation, but I keep telling you, manifestation is manipulation. You manifest through use of energy. Use is a verb. Manipulation means to move. It's a verb. I manifested. That means you created. Yeah, then you manipulated the energy into what you wanted to see. That ain't what it means. Let your life tell your tale. Not gonna argue with you. You do you. Really. So you became impregnated with this shit that ain't do nothing but keep on tearing you further apart. And holy sheep shit, now you at the 18. Now you emotional. You right here under the full moon. So you get impregnated and now you're responsive to the moon. You understand that? Probably not. 19 by tarot is the sun card. The sun gives life in this realm. 18 is the moon card. The moon takes the sunlight and controls the motions. So you give your energy to create, and then that which you created will control how you move. God, there was some kind of fucked up analogies in there, but that's bullshit too. It's all stories and fairy tales. I don't give a fuck about a Jacob theory or bullshit like that. You create a species and then they dominate you. The Hyksos. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Because ain't none of it changing where you at now. If you were the creator and now that what you created is already dominated you, maybe you weren't so smart in creation. Maybe you entered into your own interment. Remember, interment was, I've been buried by what I bound myself to. If you bind yourself to what you created without being smart enough to learn how to release, it'll take you down. Gets back into the Schumann resonance. If what you help create as a sponsorship for life, biospheric energy, is destroying you and you don't stop letting it destroy you, as fucked up as this human history is, there's been too many marked examples of great resets. Hell, even Neil deGrasse Tyson said something the other day about the great extinction where there was only 1,200 left and how Neanderthals were smarter than Homo sapiens and shit like that. And now evidence has showed that at one point a great cataclysmic event and there was only 1,200 humanoid species left. Gilgamesh, before there was a Noah. Go to the Hindu, the Bhagavad. Go to the Chinese, different shit. There's all throughout this planet in different walks of society. The Mayans, the Incans, it don't matter. There have been cataclysmic events that have been mankind's destruction. And almost always, if you did your research, it was when man started wilding out in such a fashion similar to where we are now. That is not fear-mongering. That's just basically telling you When this planet takes so much energy that has been dumped into it that is causing erraticism, the human resonance isn't because you're about to get an upgrade. It's because you are downgrading and devolving and destroying your platform. So rather than inter, in this case, rather than inter herself, be buried with her children that are unruly and disrespectful, Macaulay Culkin, the good child, or the good son, whatever it was, rather than holding on to the bad seeds, in some cases, you have to let go of the seeds altogether. In this case, the seeds are the worm, and in that case, the worm is the parasite. And in that case, the parasite is your trauma. So, internment. What is internment? I'm telling you, it's when you bind yourself to something that could potentially kill you. Green is attachment. Looky here. It's still that same 6 that is your 9. It is controlling you. This gets back to what I said earlier about when you create something and it now controls you, you got to make a choice. The way that humans operate this planet, we control the fate of not only our own species, but almost every other species on this planet. Holiness got it. So things that we do have an effect on the animals, other humans, other birds, things like that, the insects, which in turn have an effect on the whole biospheric energy known as Gaia. So internment, if I stay bonded to that which is already having me under control, but yet that which is having me under control is only a trauma, creation becomes a trauma at that point. You got choices. So let's speak from the bigger picture yet, since y'all are stuck on this human resonance shit. What is Gaia's perspective? And again, resonance only. Resonance or ignorance. Pretty sure which one you're going to choose. But resonance or ignorance. What would Gaia's best perspective be if realization that, holy shit, these motherfuckers are going to kill me if I don't do something about them. You let go of that attachment. Green is attachment. 2 is duality. 2 is I have to let go of that choice. You get that? Again, like I said earlier, what I said earlier was talking about how a mother will keep on providing nurture until nurture is no longer an option. What it produced right here was a 26. In my number system, that's empathy. It's in reverse. You lose the empathic bond. If my energy is being moved into a path that is supposed to show me and you, but the path that I keep moving into is only showing me you, I got to choose me. Now, remember, I've been saying this whole reading, what's happening on big is basically a reflection of what's happening on small. The bigger picture is, when it comes to internment, is whatever is controlling your energy, you have to sever the connection to it so that you can safely choose you. But remember, I also keep telling you, safety is a trick. But in some cases, when you've given up so much energy, safety might become a step in order to get back into being free. So in this process of connecting to what she's allowed to control her, how can she get back into herself? Oops. By realizing her own trauma. Realize, I manifested this. This is accountability. I manifested this. I manifested what is traumatizing me. People would do well to learn that. This is what you hear me call the Virgo energy. The Bambi energy is where, in a lot of people's cases, they don't take accountability for the traumas they're going through. They just point the finger at who did it and know that I need to get away from it. But then they don't say, holy shit. And not beat yourself up, but like, holy shit, I really played myself and gave this fool all this time and attention, and I got what I got. Ta-da. Shame on me. Can't do it again. Now, they didn't have to play in my energy, or I'm going to watch out for it again. Traumatic response. This is traumatic release. This is, I manifested the capacity for things to control me and pull me apart. And in the realization that I did that, I now have to set myself free. I have to honor awareness. I already got knowledge in this case. I already know what happened when I put something in front of me, so it does not have to become a trauma of what I'm watching out for. I just have to watch out for me. So, and again, in this case, since we're dealing with the biospheric energy, how can this planet look out for herself? Skip everything else. I'm not manifesting anything else. Uh-oh. That goes back into everything I just got through saying about previous great cataclysmics and things like that, where everything gets cuts off and now you basically starve the virus, parasite, worm, trauma. Not gonna do that. One thing you have to understand is throughout history, there have always been people who play roles. And sometimes the role that they play is bigger than the role that you've been tricked into seeing. And no, that ain't about Donald Trump or Elon Musk. At least not directly, anyway. So sometimes people play out the role to show you where if you don't do something to choose better for you, you're only left with what they chose for you. That's the best way I can word that. If you won't do something for yourself, who you hired to do something for you, you're at their mercy. Why? Because you didn't do it for yourself. So you're not included in the manifestation process. If you skipped your responsibility to show up, skip complaining. This had nothing to do with voting. If you skip your responsibility to take manifest destiny over your own energy, you've already manifested somebody else's ability to control your destiny. We'll do that. So where this planet is at right now is skip manifesting anything else that could potentially destroy me. Something I've been teaching since roughly 2018, reciprocity. That, even if it's not an easy word to learn, because you can lie to yourself about reciprocity real easy. But what reciprocity is, an even flow of energy. There is no need for me to attach to you. There's no need for you to attach to me. I see you as I see myself, and we can flow until there's something wrong. We can flow until there's something wrong. The minute that there is a energetic imbalance, the true sense of karma, not you hit me back. The minute reciprocity turns into a karmic entanglement, the energy is at an imbalance, then my Schumann resonance is to me is for me to be set free. Not for me to keep trying to support you and bring you back into stasis, or for you to support me and bring me back into stasis. No, that's cataclysmic energy. So reciprocity on that level should show where if her goal is to only get out of manifestation and see shit for what it really is, don't attach to nothing. Same class, 2018, 2019, non-attachment. Non-attachment is not detachment. Detachment is, I used to be attached to you and I'm set myself free because you left me with a trauma. Non-attachment is, it was what it was. I can only be accountable to me. What you do is what you do, but what I do is all about me. As long as you don't disrupt my energy, I won't disrupt yours, because the minute I disrupt yours, I'm now a karmic and traumatic experience for you, and likewise. Take your time with that one. So the whole goal right there in this internment was for the planet to stop manifesting experiences that she will have to learn to detach from or hit non-attachment from. But like I said, what happens on high is basically a reflection of what's going on low. This full moon, this parasitic moon, this worm moon, where everybody is losing their mind, is because they're only emotionally responding to what they're attached to. I know you get it. How you doing? So, if I'm telling you, as a planet, the main thing is attachment to traumas that only keep them in separation, and you're trying to find a way to get out of the trauma so that you can learn a better way to manifest you without an attachment issue, the best way before we even get to the human is stop attaching to shit. Stop attaching to shit. 8 is a stroke with the thoughts in my head. This is in reverse. Stop attaching to the thoughts that are going to manifest a struggle. To be fair, let's just say that the planet, going back into the Star Trek analogy, the Genesis effect, the planet manifests abundance because of the need to create. The need to create will make you create abundantly. But the need to create is also a sign of fear. Sorry. The need to create is a sign of fear because that is a sign of lack. Or, even if you don't want to perceive it as lack, it's a sign of necessity. I need something else. Holy shit. Remember I told y'all last year what 2025 was going to be about? Needs. What are y'all being shown? Holy shit, we need change. Holy shit, what didn't we do? Change. So now you need it. Holy shit. You didn't get out of the struggle with your head, so you help attach to the struggle of your head, and now you're manifesting it. So the whole problem with interring, being buried with what you keep attaching to is you just shouldn't attach to it. That's how you save it. But humans, again, as I said earlier, most of y'all aren't authorized to think in wholeness. You can only process things in duality. So you're going to already inter duality. I won't be surprised if this is a 2. It's worse. It's a 4. You only going to sponsor the trap. The human is already bonded to itself, boxed in separation. So before we can even go any further, what does that separation look like for the human? Same shit again. This is power. Power in the sense of vitality, not power in the sense of manifestation, but energy. Yellow, your solar plexus. This is where your soul is only going to sponsor, holy shit, separation at the minimum, 2+. So I'm going to bond myself, intersect myself, interment. I'm going to bind myself with myself in separation. And now I'm going to make sense of myself in separation. Grippy socks. Making sense of yourself in separation, your own psychosis, grippy socks. So step 1 within the grippy sock facility, where you already see yourself in psychosis, Molly, you in danger. Molly, you in danger, because now you think your separation is your highest vibration, but it's really just your traumas. You still in the red. Grippy sock. You still in the red because you done already gave your power to what's already got you trapped. Said that way back at the beginning. You give your power to what's got you trapped, you will eventually have to learn to set yourself free. So step 3 inside of where you already in danger because your traumas have all your energy, they're now going to manipulate you. You're still going to stay in that red. They're now going to abuse you. Why? Because those traumas, again, in the sense of this being a worm moon, and you'll see this, and I posted about it plenty of times. What you're going to see in a lot of facets of nature is birds eating different animals or different plants that already have parasites on them, and those parasites are waiting for the vernal equinox. They're waiting for the springtime because when these birds come and eat them, that guarantees their existence. They're going to eat these leaves that have these damn different kind of viruses. These parasites on them, and the parasites will get in and not only take over the mind of the host, but take over the digestive system, and then they're going to shit them out, or the bird is going to be under control of the parasite, and now the parasite wins the game. They'll either shit them out, and the rats will eat them, and the bird will eat another rat, and the next thing you know, it's a continuation of energy. They win because they're going to manipulate how everybody else moves. The thought in that point, the worm is already in everything. So getting back into this, like I'm saying, you already manifested yourself in a trap. Now you're just trying to find the best way to exist in the trap. But the trap is the trauma, and now you are being manipulated by the traumas in the trap. That is the worm. So now you get into step 4, the box itself, which I'm telling you, the box is the worm. The box is the worm. You only connected to the struggle. Remember I told you in the case of Gaia, she's learning not to attach to the struggle. You're in danger of the struggle, so you're just running from it. See, the difference here is I understand I'm attached to it. Green is attachment. If you want to lie to yourself, heart chakra energy. My heart chakra is ruled by struggle. This is red, root. Root function, when you're dealing with energy, is already at its lowest, yet it's at its highest. It is at its lowest because it can't think, but at its highest because it's in its most potent state of usability. Adrenaline, serotonin, oxytocin, all the other stuff. Chemical outputs are high. Something I taught for a long time. Orgasmic and fear. Orgasmic and death energy. Some of the greatest energies when you're dealing with magic. That's root chakra functions. So in the sense of the human, you're already trapped in a struggle, and all you know how to do is use your baser energies. Your higher complex, if you want to go into triune mind, you have the reptilian, the mammalian, and the neocortex. You can't even make it into the mammalian. The middle brain, you stuck down in the reptilian root chakra. You're already in the trap trying to figure out how to get deeper into the trap to get out of the trap. Go down your timelines. You see that all day long. And it's not new. It's just getting more blatant. Something I said earlier in this reading, I know this went on for a while, was if you think anything you find within the trap is going to be the key to get out of the trap, you already the trap. Too many movie examples. A good Indiana Jones movie where they set something out there for Indy to find, and then by the time he gets there and find the treasure, they already waiting. We knew you'd fall for it. The parasites, them worms in your mind, they know what you'll fall for. Again, 8 is strength. In my number system, 8 is the thoughts that you keep struggling with. The thoughts that you keep struggling with already know how to use your energy against you. So if they know how to use your energy against you, where do you stay? In the trap. And under control. In the trap and under control. So, if this hasn't confused the fuck out of you, basically what I'm saying is, under this full moon, where the early bird gets the worm, if you don't know what worm you eating, or if as the bird you don't know why you flying in the first place, you might be getting ready to become the meal. You might be getting ready to become the meal. So again, quit lying to yourself about Schumann resonance being about you. It's about the planet trying to prepare herself to choose her where we didn't. Not only did we not choose her, we don't even choose ourselves. We choose our masters. And in that case, your masters is your fear and your ineptitude and your need. This ain't about one person or one group of person or one government. It is the totality of whenever you don't see yourself as enough, don't matter what country you in, when you don't see yourself as enough, you'll seek to find somebody else to make you feel better. You'll end up worshiping, you'll end up voting, you'll end up praying, you'll end up getting married, you'll end up getting impregnated by, you'll end up serving. You're going to end up doing something because you can't do anything for yourself. Why? Core programming. Core programming is you already have been streamlined to be more responsive to the worm than you are responsible for yourself. That's really all it is. You've been streamlined to be a food source for the worm. Can't manifest for yourself. You can't manifest for yourself. You can only manifest for this system because you are a part of the system. Which means until you learn to separate yourself from the system by stop telling yourself that separation is what it is, you won't be able to manifest for yourself. You'll just stay the fool in danger. You'll stay the source. Class I always give about that. You see an 8, now you see an 80. That 8 got so much stronger when the fool keeps standing behind it. Those fools in Washington get so much stronger when these fools all around the world keep standing behind it. Oops. I'm just saying. Happy full moon. Wholeness.